Look who decided to join me today.
Hello.
This is my little sister, Abby. Abby, say what's up.
What's up?
And then we got my boy, Joe.
How's it going?
Joe Wheat. And then we got Jason Stewart. Jason and Joe. How long have you guys been friends? Tell us your story.
8-9 years.
Looking for guys to sign up for my flag football team. Walked by the basketball court, saw a guy just throw down, just a windmill dunk, and decided
Jason is 6'7", by the way.
that's the man I need to be my starting tight end. And it turns out we were in the same dorm, so it worked out great, and been friends ever since.
I love it.
Joe introduced me to my wife, so.
Oh wow, he's a matchmaker too.
Matchmaker.
You know,
He's a man of many talents. We're out here doing Broads Fork Twin Peaks, so let's go. All right, now that you know the crew, it's time to go hiking. Thanks for joining us today, and welcome back to the channel as we make our way up to the top of Broads Fork Twin Peaks. As most of you know, there's another Twin Peaks on the Wasatch known as the American Fork Twin Peaks. This is the Broads Fork Twin Peaks because we're going to be following the Broads Fork drainage. The hike in total is 11 miles and covers 5,200 vertical feet. It's a big one, which means it's 5.5 miles one way, and I want to split those 5.5 miles into two different sections. The first section is 4 miles, and the second section, the last 1.5 miles. So the first 4 miles is what follows the Broads Fork. That's what you're seeing here. Lots of creek crossings. It's green. It's pretty. Look at Joe with that masterful dronery. We've got little Sis and Jason there crossing the creek. Anyway, it's a good time. It's not as steep. You're covering about 3,100 vertical feet over the 4 miles. You know what? You might even see a mountain goat. What a majestic beast. I want to point out real quick this little marsh here on the left. Now, if you're an All Trails user, this sits right at mile 2.5, and it's marked as a lake. It's clearly not a lake. It's just like a little marsh. Anyway, I just want to point that out. The trail continues, heads up the Broads Fork, and goes towards the left side of your screen, up towards that saddle. And this is our first view of those majestic peaks up on the ridge. You got Sunrise Peak on the left, and our destination, the East Twin, left center. Now, for more experienced hikers, I want to give you another option. If you're looking for an extra challenge, if you're feeling a little crazy, then come do the Robinson variation. What you're going to do is you're going to head right up this draw, get up to that ridge line. Once you gain the ridge, head straight left, and you'll hit the East Twin right there. Now, for the rest of us chumps who aren't going to do that, we're going to continue up the Broads Fork and make our way to the Broads Fork Cirque. And it's at the Broads Fork Cirque where we begin section 2, like I was saying, the last 1.5 miles. We lose our trail a little bit, and we're going to start hiking up the scree. But look at the view of these mountains. We've got Dromedary Peak on the left. We've got Sunrise in the middle. And then there's a little notch over there on the right. That is known as Jepson's Folly. Now, who Jepson is and what his folly is, I have no idea. But now you know. Now you know the name of that little notch. Anyway, it's time to get going. It's time to find our balance. There's a nice little joke for you as we make our way into the scree field. Ah, the scree field. So much fun. All right, I'm freeze framing this just for a quick second just to point out where we're going. We are headed for that saddle on the right side of your screen right there. Now, it depends on what time of year you're here, because if you're here early summer, you might be dealing with snow in the scree field. And if there is snow, stick to the right side of the scree field right there. That's where the sun hits. That's where the snow melts first. We're late summer, the snow is gone, so we're just going to be climbing up the rocks. There's some cairns, there's kind of a trail, but honestly, just point towards the saddle and go. You'll get there. The sun has risen, and it's time. It's time for a little snack. You guys know what's coming. There it is, product placement. There we go, okay.
Sponsor him, Pringles.
Yes, if you listen closely, you can hear the ocean. Just kidding. But listen. Here we go. Oh, right in my face. That was a good one. You can always tell it's a good can of Pringles when it pops like that. Because once you pop, fun don't stop. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Partake.
Thank you, brother. Is there any snack better on a hike than Pringles?
No way.
Definitely not.
No way, Jose. Number one. Okay, here we are, making our way up to the saddle. We finally made it through the scree field. Honestly, if you guys make it to the saddle, just give yourself a pat on the back because that scree field is no joke. So, taking those views, rest up a little bit, and just know there's just a little bit more climbing that we gotta do. We are taking a well-deserved rest. Am I right, guys? Or am I right?
You're right.
Jason, 0.3 miles?
That's what it says.
0.3 miles left, just get to the top. It's gonna be a long 0.3 miles up that ridge. We can do it. We can do it indeed. Thank you, Mad Dog. But before we get to the top, we've got some climbing to do. Now, I'd imagine that some of you are watching this just to see this move. Maybe you know about the mountain already. For those of you who don't, this is known as the Crux, the most technical part of the mountain. And the climbing starts on the left side of your screen where I am. Abby, on the right side of the screen, is gonna make her way across the wall. And there's a decent ledge that takes you from where she is over to where I am. Now let's watch as I get started on this climb. You're gonna get yourself up into that wedge. Find your handholds, find your footholds. There's lots of them. The rock is pretty grippy. And find your own route. And there's Abby, giving us a prime example, taking her time. There's no rush. Finding her holds across the wall over to the wedge. And as we pan up here, you'll see that I've made some decent progress as I make my way up to the top of this climb. And I want you guys to know this, even though this is very technical scrambling, this is not crazy. This is not a 90-degree wall. You're not clinging on for dear life. You could probably lift your hands off the wall at any point and be okay. But it is difficult, and so you need to be careful. As Abby is showing us, she is beauty, she is grace, and she is killing this climb. Abby's a beast. There's our boy Jason, making his way to the top. And when you guys get to the top, throw your hands up in the air, because you just killed that. You just killed that climb. And there is your shot of the Crux. Thank you, Joe, for the masterful drone footage there. And we are almost at the top. I wouldn't say it's smooth sailing, but there's the East Twin. Go get it. So, for reference, Abby here, she's a beast. She has done Devil's Castle, and she's done the South Ridge of Superior. Tell the people, how does this move compared to those other climbs?
Tough. I'd say it was more technical than Devil's Castle. The rock was smoother, so I kind of stuck my fingers in and just maneuvered my way up. Had to stretch my legs pretty far to get to the next foothold, but just by holding onto that crack, I was able to make it up here.
We did it.
We did it!
Well done.
Granola bar to celebrate.
Granola bar. Well done, boys.
Let's go. And Abby.
That one is in the bag.
In the bag. Yes. There it is. What I do, baby?
It'd be cool to get everyone going across. Should I do that on the way back?
Did you forget? We've got one more peak to bag. This is the West Twin, and you may have just noticed that it's only 2 feet shorter than the East Twin. But you still got to come bag it. I mean, if you're going to come do the Twin Peaks, you got to hit both. Am I right? Anyway, the West Twin is actually the more prominent peak that you see from the valley. And I think this is where we're going to hold up for lunch. Well, it is lunchtime, boys and girls. And you know what's on the menu. We got ourselves a PB&J. Actually, I have something to tell you guys about PB&J. I was talking with my uncle the other day. He asked me, how do you make your PB&J? And I was confused by the question because
How do you make a PB&J? You just put peanut butter and jelly on it.
And then he asked, do you put peanut butter on both slices? Or just on one slice and then jam on the other? I do that. I just do one on each. And so he says, next time, put peanut butter on both slices. See if that makes a difference. I did that today, and we're going to try it out. He says he may have just changed my life, so we'll see if he's lying or not. All right, honest review. It's good. I would say it is actually slightly better than just putting peanut butter on one side, but I wouldn't say by much. I wouldn't say it's life-changing, but who knows? Maybe this is the new way I do it from now on. Give it a shot, guys. Well, that concludes the hike for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was such an epic hike. Don't be afraid to hop in the comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us where we need to go next. And we'll see you out on the trail.
Good hurt.